It is only a game. Why do you have to be mad? My secret? Sit-ups and push-ups and plenty of juice. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Get Ready With Me for Supanova, Saint Soaps edition. So, very exciting video tonight for a few reasons. Well, I mean, wait, when are my videos never exciting? But seriously though, a few different reasons that this is an exciting video tonight. One of them is that we have not one soap happening, but two. This soap is obviously featured about Zarya from Overwatch, and the vision that I had for the Zarya soap in my head was like amazing. I was like, this is gonna be fantastic. When it came to the actual making of the soap, you'll see as the video goes on what happens, and I talk about it. It didn't turn out the way I planned it. Now, it is not a bad soap at all. It smells and looks great. It's just not the vision that I had for the Zarya soap. I needed to do my Russian girl some justice. So I went around and made a second Zarya soap. Don't worry, this won't be a feature-length film. There's not going to be the whole making of process for both soaps. It'll just be one, and then at the end, it will be the cutting of both of the soaps. Now on to the exciting part number 2. So I've decided to reach out to my cosplay community and to ask any of some cosplayers to be involved in collaborating with me. I love to make soaps inspired by characters when it comes to video games especially, and I figured who better to ask for their inspiration on the characters than people who cosplay as those specific characters. So these people obviously cosplay as characters that they feel a connection to, they feel inspired by or motivated by, and I thought that they would be great people to get involved with. I myself am what I would term as a casual cosplayer. Unfortunately, don't have the biggest budget or the biggest amount of time to give, but I do know from my limited experience with cosplaying the magic that comes with it. So I reached out and I have contacted a few cosplayers, and there'll be plenty more to come, and we are getting involved. The first one of them is actually Hija, and she's based in Melbourne, Australia. I'm based in Sydney, and she, to me, when I saw her a few years ago, was like Zarya come to life. I was like, there's my girl. I was so excited. So I saw her, I met Hija unofficially 2 years ago at PAX in Melbourne, and officially I met her, was introduced to her, and we talked last year at PAX through a mutual friend of ours. Now Hija is not just a cosplayer, but she also is an artist, and I'm not just saying this to be nice or because I'm working with her or because she's my friend, but she has some serious talent. So please check out her details that are listed down below, and also all of the cosplayers that I will be working with will be up, their details and any details and info about becoming a collaborator with me will be up on my website, on my Facebook page. So if you feel like that you could be a cosplayer that works with me and collaborates at Saint Soaps, feel free to head on over to Saint Soaps and to check out that information there. So without further ado, I'm going to get into this video, and I hope you find it as interesting and as exciting as I did. Okay, so I've got here my bucket of room temperature oil mixture and room temperature lye water. So I'm going to mix them together, and we're going to do it just with a spatula again today to make a really liquidy batter, because we're going to be putting embeds inside the soap. So we want to make sure that we've got the liquid mixture mixing all around it and everything, making sure that it fills in all the gaps and that there's not going to be any like air bubbles kind of thing inside the soap. So the best way to do that is making sure that our mixture is as liquidy as possible. So best way to do that, as I've said probably in previous video, I'm not sure, I can't remember that part, that yeah, mixing with the spatula does help emulsion occur, but it doesn't accelerate it too fast, so we do still get that liquid trace happening. Now I did just quickly blitz it with the electric mixer, the hand mixer, quickly, because I just wanted to make sure if that there was any little bits of lump of perhaps oil that hadn't completely melted down, that they were all blended in. So today, doing the Zarya inspired soap, which I'm pretty excited about, is we are going to do just, it's pretty straightforward because like I mentioned, we're going to have embeds inside, which we'll see in a sec. So the actual base, there's not going to be any pattern making with this or anything. It's just going to be a straight pour, and it's just going to be one color. So the color is a little difficult to see here. It just looks super dark, but you can see around the edges. This is a, I think it's called a deep pink mica. And so it's kind of like, it's not purple, definitely it's not purple, but it's definitely like a hot pink or a bit of a fuchsia color. And I thought it was perfect for Zarya's hair color. So we're going with the hot pink for the body of the soap, and then the embeds are a mixture of another pink, like a hot pink color, but also with a blue, which I thought would kind of like break up the hot pink, but also it was really cool because it has to do with her, is it a particle cannon she uses? Her weapon. So which shoots out the blue energy, her ammunition. So that's the color theme we're going for today. So this has just been mixed with some oil to dilute it down, or not dilute it, to just mix up the powder. So it will be easier to stir into here, especially seeing as, again, I'm just going to be using the spatula, especially now. Don't need the hand mixer anymore. So yeah, definitely going to be a lot easier now that it's already mixed into a little bit of oil. And I'm hoping that this is deep enough. I've put in quite a bit of mica. If it isn't, then, ooh, look at that. If it isn't, then I will add more because I really want this to be hot pink. Like, we need this to look like Zarya has dipped her hair in this soap. Like, I don't know. Like, we're going for that look, okay? So the pink, I feel like, yeah, it's pink, but it's actually, I want the body of the soap to be a darker pink than the embeds. The embeds are not as strong a hot pink. So I feel like this would blend too much. So I'm just going to pop out the mica again, and I'm going to mix that. I'm going to put some more in, to be honest, because I want this to be hot pink, okay? We're not settling for less. So normally, I'll be honest, I'm really fussy when it comes to like liking the color pink personally. You know, I have to have it. It depends on what the pink is on or in, how much of the pink there is, what shade of pink, you know, all that kind of stuff. I'm really picky when it comes to the color pink. But I saw this, man, and I was like, dang, this is a pretty good pink. So I'm excited for it. So as we can see that there are like a few clumps of color in here, which I'm going to break up with the spatula and mix in. So I'm cool with that because a majority of the mixing has been rather slow. This is like super liquidy still, which is going to be great for when we pour in a thin layer of this color down the bottom. We're going to layer it, and in between each layer we're going to put in pieces of these embeds that we have ready to go. Okay, now I've finished mixing that up. I'm pretty kind of happy with that. What I'm going to do is pull out the mold. I've already lined it. I've already marked it up as well because we are going to put icing on top. How exciting. I know, guys, don't freak out. I am a little bit organized today. So I remembered to mark it up and everything, which we don't need those super right now, but we're going to be putting hot pink icing on top as well. So that's pretty exciting stuff. Okay. I just realized that I still haven't put the fragrance oil in that yet, but thank goodness I just remembered. Don't worry, guys, it's got fragrance in it. It will have fragrance in it. But while I have this here, this is actually a big like metal stainless steel bowl I have full of these chopped up pieces of cold processed soap. So this soap is, as you can see, it's got hot pink in there, and then you can also see that there are some pieces here which are blue as well. So this was done with a marbling effect. They were all like in chunks, and then I chopped them all up. So these are the contrasting colors that we're going to go have in here. So on camera, like, they actually look pretty similar on camera, but this is actually a bit lighter. This one is it is slightly purple, I will say. This is the first time I'm using the hot pink mica, so we're going to see how this develops and cures over time. But I'm cool with it. I'm fairly confident that it's going to complement it well. It's going to look pretty awesome. So these already have a scent in them. This is actually going to be a blended scent that I'm doing. So this here has vanilla and pomegranate in these pieces. This isn't a very strong fragrance, so they're not going to clash at all. And in here, we're actually going to be putting yuzu scent. Now, yuzu, if you're not familiar with yuzu, yuzu is an Asian, kind of like a summer fruit, I would call it. It's native to the area of Asia, and it's a really bright citrusy scent. It kind of looks like a lemon, but it's not a lemon. And when I say bright and citrusy, it isn't sour, which thank goodness, because sometimes you'll smell a fragrance and you'll just be like, oh, I can feel that, like the sourness on my tongue, you know what I mean? So thank goodness this isn't sour like that. But this is going to be really nice. I thought it was kind of like an ode to, you know, Russia as well. Russia is considered part of the Asian continent. And so I thought it'd be a cool mix to add yuzu, pomegranate, and a bit of vanilla in together. So we're gonna see how these blend together. I smelt them all together before and I was like, this smells pretty delish, to be honest. So you got the bright tang of the yuzu, and then you've got the sweetness and the subtlety of the pomegranate and vanilla. So which is kind of smooth and sweet smelling. So I thought it'd be pretty cool. And oh my gosh, every time I smell the yuzu scent, I can like, I was about to say taste it. I can't taste it, but I can feel it on my tongue, like your mouth waters. Now this yuzu scent I have used before in other products, and let me tell you that like the very first time I used this yuzu scent, in a batch, I sold it at an event last year, and it sold like hotcakes. I've never sold a whole batch in one event before. Like, it sold out. So I was like crazy surprised, to be honest. So I know that this scent is one of my most popular scents, and it's a really great scent too, because you can mix it with others without it clashing too hard. Ooh, so the color has changed slightly. It's now like a purpley color. Oh, how interesting. So this will be cool. We'll see how the color further develops as we go along. So now that I've mixed that all in, pretty happy with that is, we're going to pull out the mold and we're going to pour in a line. And then we're going to add in some of the embeds. Okay. This is nice and runny. Oh, look at that purple color. Okay. So go from there. So I poured in probably about that much liquid. Oh, why did I do that? That much liquid on the bottom. So this is quite runny and everything. Just gonna tap it down a little bit. I did see like there was a bubble there in that. So what I'm gonna do now is pop in some of these chunks. So we don't want them like, I'm not gonna try and splash it all through or anything, but I definitely want to make sure that these are littered throughout, that they provide some color contrast. So when I did mix up this cold process soap that turned into these embeds that I chopped up, they were a separate color of hot pink and blue. They were liquid colorant. This was something that I decided, you know, I had liquid colorants, and sometimes you can just get the right color with them instead of using micas. But as they mixed, some of them did get purple. Like you can just see there's a bit of purple there. So there is a little bit of purple in there as well. Yeah, I'm not sure what to call it yet. If you have any ideas, let me know. I want something like, you know, funny, or not funny, but interesting, or Zarya related, you know? It has to be Zarya related. Should I call it From Russia with Love? Oh, I don't know. Is that too corny? Too cheesy? I don't know. When you're putting other components inside of a soap mixture, whether it be an exfoliant like poppy seeds or ground nutshells, for example, or even charcoal lines. I have made the mistake before where I've made a mica or charcoal lines between the layers too thick, and then once it sets, it just breaks apart because the two layers haven't been able to stick together. So of course we do want to make sure that there is enough of everything in here, but if you overload it too much, you do run the risk of the actual whole soap bar breaking apart if you're not careful. So we're going to make sure that, I really want to like get some of the sides, you know. I'm going to make sure that there's not too many in here, and that this, I mean, there's plenty. The next layer is going to go on top, and it's going to stick to it, hopefully. Okay, I feel like that one's good there. So I don't need to worry about, you know, there not being it completely even. It's not in a set pattern, because we are going to pour more on top. Whoops, did I just pour it over? Oh my gosh, you totally didn't see that. We all did, we all did. I will clean it up in a second. Okay, well now I will admit I did forget that I need to make sure that the bottom layer kind of sets up a bit more before I add the second layer, because as I was adding the second liquid layer, it was just connecting to the bottom and like making all the embeds rise to the top kind of thing. So I can see some poking out there, but that's okay because we're about to throw more in. See how you like that? Now what I was thinking of doing on top of the icing, which is going to be hot pink to match this as well, I was going to cut these up even further into smaller pieces so we would have these sprinkled on top. So that's the idea we're going for. And then I will add some shimmer because I can't resist my pearl shimmer. I don't know, I kind of like the shimmer sometimes a bit more than even the actual like proper glitter, because I don't know, just it's different and it's sometimes subtle, and I feel like the shimmer goes with everything a bit more. So the glitter that I do use in my products as well is biodegradable, because while I'm not, you know, the biggest environmentalist on the earth, I do feel like, you know, I have been wanting to make a bit of an effort. I made the pledge to give up using plastic straws, so I only use paper straws when I use straws, or honestly sometimes you don't even need a straw for a drink, like just drink it out of the, you know, the cup or the bottle. Anyway, I know that some things like milkshakes you have to have a straw there, like, and sometimes it just feels nice and fancy to use a straw. So I use paper straws, or like if there's a metal straw I'll use that. Yeah, so I'm making that pledge, and I figured to try and be environmentally friendly when I'm actually purposefully making products to put out into the world. So all of the ingredients that I use are environmentally friendly, including the glitter, which is biodegradable, and even my packaging. I do wrap my soaps in plastic because I felt that that was the best way to make sure all of the products were protected, as well as it's always nice to get a piece of soap, I think, because you will be using it for personal use that hasn't actually been touched by everybody, you know what I mean? So that's just a personal thing, but that plastic that I use to wrap my soaps is actually environmentally friendly. It can be recycled. So I was pretty big on that. It took me a while to find some that I felt good about using as well. I thought it was a good idea. Yeah, so it's just about trying to make an effort, I guess, you know, as much as you can, because we use the earth, and as well as there are people that are going to come after us, you know, the younger generations, and I feel like, yeah, we are responsible for our actions, and that we should make things, we shouldn't put the consequences of our actions back on, you know, the future generations. Okay, so I'm going to try pouring it again, because it's a little bit more set up. I'm not going to pour it from as high. Oh yeah, there we go. This is a bit better. Now this one is setting up a bit more. So I'm going to scrape it out because this looks like it's going to be the end layer. I actually thought I was going to have leftover, and I brought down some silicone molds to like use the leftover batter in like to make small little soaps that I could sell, so nothing was wasted. But it looks like I may not need it. This has turned out to be like, ugh, get the handle out of the way, a really interesting color. Sorry about the bucket in the way. I'm gonna pour all that out, make sure it like covers. So it has started to thicken slightly, but I'm not super concerned about it because it's not too chunky yet, you know. It'll work, we'll make it work. Oh, the yuzu smell, so good. Now I actually love looking at soap like this, because like looking at this soap, ooh, look at that, it's just smoothed out real good. It's almost slightly translucent. I know you can't really see it on the camera, but it like looks so cool. Now I just want to scrape out the bucket as much as I can, get all of that product in there. It almost looks like jelly beans. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Ooh, speaking of jelly beans, I do have a jelly bean fragrance. Should I make another soap with jelly bean fragrance? Hey everyone, so we've come back to do the icing for the top of the Zarya loaf of soap. And so what we're going to do is the exact same process as making the main body of soap. We've got our lye water mixture and our oil mixture here. I also have done the exact same thing as I did before for the main part of the soap colorant, which is mixing the hot pink mica into some oil, and then we're going to mix it in. So we're going to be using the hand mixer to mix this up to a thicker consistency than the body of the soap because we do want the icing to hold its shape. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that, and then we'll get on to the piping part. Okay, so we're back. I've mixed up the icing in the bag here. It's at a good consistency, and we're about to pipe it on top. So you may notice, although again it's a little different on the camera, I'm looking the screen, that the main body of the soap, which was that hot pink mica, it changed color. Like, it hasn't even cured and been sitting here for days. It's been like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours at max, and it's a super pale, super pale pink. I would even say it's like a really light mauve purple color. And you can also see here I've done the exact same thing. This is all it is that hot pink mica. We saw it. I'll even show you the bottle. Where is it? Like, this is the bottle, like the container it comes in. It is hot pink mica, and this is the color that we got. So it, you know, what we'll do is we're gonna pipe this anyway. We're gonna see, because this is an experiment, I guess, see how it goes. We're gonna pipe this on, we're gonna let the soap sit and cure, we're gonna slice it, and we're gonna see over time how the color turns out, because it may change back to a hot pink. I don't know, sometimes colors are really weird like that. So we're gonna go along, and we're about to watch me do some beautiful icing on top of my soaps, and then we will add some tiny little embeds on top.
is the finished close-up of the top of the Zarya soap. So once I added that hot red drizzle on top, I think it gave it a bit more color. And so did the pop of all of the little cold process pieces all over the top. This is gorgeous. I'm really excited to see how it turns out when we cut it, because I'll be seeing this for the first time just like you guys.
Hey everyone, so we're back with the Zarya soap. It's been a few days and it's hardened up nicely. So the colors changed a lot with the mica, that hot pink mica. Yeah. It's like gone the lightest pink color I have like ever seen. That was from that hot pink mica. Now just to make note, the icing on the top is made of the same hot pink mica, and maybe it was the amount that was put in, I don't know, you know, compared to the ratio of the soap batter. But this is a slightly darker pink, but it's still so light. What the heck, man? Anyway, so there actually will be, okay, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by the unfocused camera. While this is very pretty and all, I'm not happy with how it turned out. Like, it wasn't the vision that I had. I wanted hot pink for Zarya's hair. So we'll see it in a second, but there's actually going to be two Zarya's soaps. There's going to be this one, and there will be a hot pink one, which will be a low top, so it won't have the extra icing on top. It will have all of the same cold process pieces inside it. It just won't have the extra stuff on top, and it will be a hot pink color. We're about to see, exciting moment, what it looks like on the inside. So I'm going to get out my trusty homemade cutting apparatus, and we'll cut into it. And I'm so nervous, guys. Please let this work. We'll cut into it and see what happens. Oh my gosh! What the heck? What the heck? Oh my gosh, it's crazy! Guys, can you see this? Of course you can. What am I talking about? What the heck happened? What the heck?
guys, this is the second lot of the Zarya inspired soap. Now I know it looks a lot different. That's because I wasn't happy with how the first one turned out. The first one turned out unpredictably and very cool, but wasn't what I had in mind. This is the color I had in mind. So it's a little bit ready, but it's pink as well. So we've got, you can see through the sides there that we have the embeds inside and underneath. So on top, what we've got is I actually applied, so the actual body of the soap is a little bit darker, and then the top has a scraping of soap over the top, which kind of looks like acrylic, thick acrylic paint when you go and look like at a masterpiece in the museum and you can see the dabs of paint, how it's not smooth. So it has a scraping of extra soap on top, which is a slightly lighter shade of hot pink on top. So you can just make out the difference, and it adds a really cool texture. And it's got shimmer spray and pearlescent on top, mica on top. So we're going to slice this one up and we're going to see what this one looks like on the inside as well. Thank you so much for watching the video. Just a reminder that all of these soaps will be available at Sydney Supanova 2019. It's happening in just a few weeks time from when this video is posted, and I'm freaking out. Like, I'm getting all my soaps and my products ready, but it's creeping up and I'm excited and also a bit thrilled, like in shock. So be there, meet me in the artist alley, follow me on my social medias, and you can find out details closer to the event, as such as where I will be positioned. Talk to you later, guys. Have a great night.